Hello, and welcome to a kind of different kind of video. So, more or less, the point of this is to help like faction mates, but also give everyone watching ideas. I do not have the best team. I do not have the greatest experience because I've only been playing for a fraction of some time, but I have a good understanding of the game in general compared to a lot of people who just build everything together. But the biggest flaw that a lot of us run into is that it is hard to build a good defense team, especially late game where Priya with Rampage can just pretty much destroy everything. I've gone over Johnny's defense several times, and it's just a plain out incredibly offensive team for defense. And then I run into the same problem where my defense is kind of the same way. Sorry, I gotta exit out of this to go back, and then we'll pull it up. Originally, I would just run this defense. Now, I'm not going to have Erin in this video because she's on You Got Lucky. That's not a big deal. But the defense that I run is this. We run not an S-class Erin. 6-star max Erin. No veteran rings on him yet. I haven't decided if I'm going to because I'm getting close to the second Erin. But he's boosted up with HP and defense mods. Rosita with Bide, of course, working on her S-class. And then we run Priya, and then we're working on Doc Stevens, and then we're going to be running S-class Princess. This is a decent defense, I believe, and it does help. It pretty much beats anything except for someone with Trader, just because of how OP the Trader is. But the Trader is not an end-all in-game. He is not the perfect tune. I have no problem killing the Trader. The problem is, though, is that teams on defense are a lot different than offense teams. They can't be straightforward and strong. Even a first-turn rushing team can destroy anything. Doc Stevens is incredibly powerful behind Erin, and he's not even fully maxed yet, and his weapon's not that good. My second armory will be level 20 by Wednesday, and I'm going to start working on building up everyone's weapons, especially with S-Class Princess coming out in about 12 hours. This was my original defense, and this worked pretty well until the Trader came out. Once he came out, there was just no way around it. Poor Zeke couldn't heal fast enough for what it was, and he was getting destroyed. And it's just the way that it goes. We live in a different time. And having offensive characters on defense, it just doesn't work out. So we're going to go back in real quick. And we'll go back. Again, the point of this is to help faction mates, but also give the people who search for the content and sense a little bit of knowledge as well. So we have Fel here. Fel has a decently powerful team, but he also suffers from things that we all do, sadly. We have more offensive-based characters, except for Doc Stevens. I believe, in my opinion, Doc Stevens is a really good defense tune because, of course, of his rush. When battling on defense, he gets plus 60% crit, which when you combine him with On a Roll is actually pretty powerful if you do not kill him. On top of the fact that his active skill gives him, of course, bonus HP attack up and, heal and reduction. I believe that he's a better tune on defense than he is on offense, but that's my personal opinion. Of course, we have the Trader, and the Trader is just going to be an absolute powerhouse as it is. The problem is that he's not really benefiting because he's behind Erin. We're just getting the huge bonus to AP when attacking, which is a lot of things in general that people make the mistake of. I see it all the time in my wife's region, with hers being even newer than mine, is everyone has Erin, and they're just like, oh, we have Erin here. This is perfect, S-Class. It's like, she's a decent supporter. She is. Especially for when, you're still starting out where the Torches roadmap is hard, or Nightmare. She can be decent on that. But on that, you really need a different S-Class, like a Mercer, or even a Trader to help you. But Erin is just not a good leader on defense. Eugene, I don't have any comments on Eugene. Kapoor, I think that he's a worthless S-Class, and this is nothing against Fel, because Fel will watch this, or anyone who likes Kapoor. I just don't see him as bringing much in. And it's like, his rush does do an okay thing. It gives you plus 50% defense for 2 turns, but if I have to, I can just wait out the 2 turns with healing and bring it back, because I run a healer on my offense, and a lot of people can do that too. And Kapoor is, of course, a billet sponge with dexterity. So we're going to go into the battle, and I'm going to go through my thought process. Now, like I said, we're going to be using Mercer because Erin is, of course, out on You Got Lucky. She'll be back in about 2 hours. But I'm not going to wait until 5 o'clock in the morning. So the common thing that I live by is you want to kill Erin. Erin has an extremely powerful rush. With criticals, very first turn, we can kill her. Trader's, of course, going to do infection. Everyone else is going to attack and hit Krista, so it's not a big deal. Krista can just go over and kill that. Our next biggest product is going to be Doc Stevens for on a roll. Boom, boom, boom. And then we need to just literally look and say, do we want to taunt Princess or not? So what we're going to do is we're going to taunt this turn and hope that she gets killed. The problem is that we don't have Gwen here. If Princess gets killed, she gets killed. Oh, and she didn't. So now, what we can do is we can wait this out a turn, or we can just go plain into attacking. Our best bet would be to hit Doc Stevens, but of course, we actually paralyze the Trader. So what we're going to do is we're just going to attack, 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 and then we're going to heal to get rid of the Trader's infection. And then we're just going to powerhouse this over. This is why it's... Oh, he died. No! I was going to waste not him. So now we have the Trader who is paralyzed. We do not have Aaron, and he... Ooh, this is a hard one. Let's go for it. Boom. Just like that, he's dead. We didn't need Princess's Rust. Originally, what I could have done was I could have used Krista's Waste Not, but Krista did get impaired. Kind of sad. I wanted to Waste Not, and it would have killed Trader in one hit just because of how OP Krista is. Now we have the 50% defense boost. We can still hit him. We don't want to hit Kapoor, because Kapoor has Dexterity. So we just want to hit Indomitable, and then we're going to Waste Not and hope that it does enough, and it doesn't just because of how strong Eugene is, so Eugene's going to hit us. It's not really all that strong. Eugene healed. It's okay though. And then we're just going to literally delay the battle one more turn. Eugene's going to rush. It's not really that big of a deal. And then boom, 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 boom. And that's all it is. It's just a little bit of a delay. And then Princess Priya is going to finish off the battle for us. This Eugene is not dying. What the heck? There we go. I feel kind of bad. I really thought it was going to die. But it's not a hit against you, Fel, again, when you watch this, or anyone else who runs it. It's just that we live in a meta in the last few months, especially around 6 or so, where most of the tunes, especially those of us who started later, like, I couldn't get Aaron. My team was not strong enough to complete the roadmap. There's no way I could have. I was also a new player, only playing for a few weeks. I didn't understand that. And that's one thing that I never really had explained to me in the beginning, that Aaron would be a really good defensive leader. So a lot of us will run offensive tunes on defense. But the problem is that if someone thinks it out, they can beat it. I would have won if Doc Stevens would not have died, because I could have honestly just waste-notted with Krista with her You Deserve It Adrenaline Rush, and it would have killed Trader in one hit more than likely because of what Doc Stevens' defense was. And then I could have probably ended it before anyone even rushed and supported the defense. But that's just the thought process of going through a battle. In war, a lot of the times that I've noticed, people change and only have 1 or 2 defenses, and as long as you adapt to it, you don't have a problem 9 times out of 10. But occasionally you're going to go up against very hard teams, especially a team like, I've said it before, and I'll go up and do it. I'm gonna feel so good when I get my S-Class Mercer here shortly. But when you run into a team like Zeus's, who runs an RNG Mercer and has an extremely powerful, near-maxed Arav. The only thing is that his weapon isn't maxed. And then he has Doc Stevens, and Doc Stevens is almost fully maxed Veta as well. Boom, as a first turn rushing. And then you have Mercer, who has massive AP and a fast rush, and then it just never ends. It's a team like that, especially with the nice command Maggie. It's just well built. I am envious of Zeus's team. I said that before. I can beat Zeus's team, but it's entirely RNG of who I taunt. Same thing how he can beat me no problem, entirely of RNG who he taunts. And that's one thing that's really bad about Mercer leads, is that it's RNG, and it does take a little bit of the strategy out, but it also makes it fun at the same time, because when you're going up against one, you have to be like, I can adapt, I can do this, I can do that, I can turn my thought process. On a thing where I would rather just have Priya go all out, boom, 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 kill a Rav or kill Princess, I have to turn around and say, well, Princess is taunted, or Priya is taunted, or they're both paralyzed. I have to sit here and turn on a whim and think, should I try to taunt a Rav? Should I try to taunt Doc Stevens? Because if Doc Stevens starts rushing, boom, 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 he's just going to keep with his rush. It's really bad. Taunt and impair up to 3 enemies for 1 turn. This character recovers from disarm up to 2 teammates gain 60% AP. I never really had a problem with Doc Stevens until recently. I ran into a really tanky one in my arena that had like 5,700 or almost 6,000 defense. It was ridiculously high. But that's just the thought process of putting in for one battle. And like I said, it's never hitting against anyone because we live in a meta the last 6 months or so where a lot of the tunes have been offensive, except for, say, Angel. And a lot of us chose Krista and James instead of Angel. I wish I had chose Angel. I like Krista and the way that she is, but I missed the first box, so I wasn't able to get one. But it is what it is. You have to take it with a grain of salt. Same thing how you have to take all the polls with a grain of salt. There's nothing that you can personally do about it. But again, that's my thought process. I really can't think anything else to add, honestly. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm sorry for not streaming raids earlier with everything going on. It's very chaotic here is an understatement. And just things happen that we should not get into talking about earlier. Nothing with us, but outside world around us was a total catastrophe. But I hope everyone enjoyed the video. Have a good night.